Hey guys, we'll get started in just a moment. AR, why don't you try talking?
My throat was fine all day, and as soon as we're about to start, it starts to get a little scratchy, and I'm
Yeah,
really annoyed by that.
yeah, that happens to me constantly. It will be like an hour before the show and my throat starts to go, and it's like, really? Now?
I'm gonna have all my water drunk by halfway in.
Yeah. Okay, Dev, why don't you try talking?
I've been locked in my store's warehouse for like the past 9 hours packing boxes, and I am so tired.
I
Do you
don't,
get
I
do
don't
you get
miss
hit
that.
with Cyber Monday, or are you mostly an offline? Are you mostly a Black Friday store?
Um, Both.
Uh,
Because we
we
have
had
like
a
ship from store in addition to, because like not everything comes from the warehouse. Like when you order stuff online, sometimes it'll get sent to like one of the many random stores that just happens to have it in inventory.
oh, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, when I worked at a comic book store, the warehouse in the back was literally one of the joke warehouses you would see in a sitcom, where it's just stuff piled up everywhere, doors are blocked. It was literally a parody of a stockroom. Fire doors were blocked.
Yeah, that was our last warehouse, but
Yeah.
cr- shopping kind of cleared it out really badly.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run with the will.
I'm AR Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
I'm DevQ. I run Wikimon and pack boxes.
Another long week. There was a holiday involved. DevQ had to deal with sales, I assume.
I
I
Yeah.
have Thursday and Friday off. I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
had to go into work at 6 in the morning.
Yeah. I've decided to do the unrealistic thing and just blow through work nonstop until I'm done, and then I will be done for the year.
Eh,
And
that works.
the universe keeps going. You need to not do that. Power's going out tonight at 1 until the morning. Boilers being turned off for all of tomorrow. Just literally everything possible is attempting to stop me, and I'm just being stubborn and refusing.
That sucks. Well, at least you have electricity to do the podcast, because that's all that really matters.
There's been times when that has not been true. None of
Fair.
none of the crazy fires where there was no internet, the power was going out, and that was one of the rare times we actually delayed the show. Hard to do a show with no internet.
Ah, the good times.
Yeah. And now we get to talk about AR's beloved subject, an episode where he hopefully will not insult the audience this time.
Yeah, this one's meh, average, I guess.
Better
Average-ish
better with
is
a
what.
question mark at the end.
Yeah, average-ish question mark. Although, generally the response to my review this week was that I'm being too nice to this episode and giving it a B minus.
Oh, see, I disagree. You didn't write about the fucking episode. You
There
ignored
wasn't
90
anything to talk about with the Taichi stuff.
you ignored 90% of the episode and just pretended like it wasn't there.
I mean, that's really the best way to go about it. The Taichi Seedramon stuff is completely pointless.
Are
There's
you
nothing to
saying
talk
you
about in
didn't
that.
are you saying you don't like Patamon eating fruit?
I've seen it before.
I don't know.
I prefer the Kazuna with him shoveling the burgers. I prefer to him be dispensing the
Yeah.
fruit. That scene in Kazuna was a nice little touch.
Or the coffee.
Or
Him
the
just
coffee, yeah. Oh yes.
uh
Patamon and food, like Kazuna was the peak for that.
yeah. They're on the ocean. It's weird. Like stuff does happen this episode, but I mean, I understand why you skip talking about most of it because it is, hey, look, it's a fight.
All of the stuff happens on the other side. This is a B team. This is about the B team. Everything happens in the real world. The only thing of note in the digital world is the whole Seadramon eating another Digimon and then evolving. That feels like it's important.
And
Everything else is skippable.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Tamer's feel to it.
It had a real Tamer's feel to it, for sure.
Yeah, and we all know how that doesn't sell. Buzzing. But yeah, there was fights. Again, this is one of those ones where when they jump on the Digimon to fight, it does feel slightly... Why? Jump on Greymon,
Yeah.
and then Greymon jumps into the water.
They're standing in the middle, they're standing on an island, attacking at long range, and Taichi still has to jump on Greymon.
I will say this, I love the Seadramon jumping out of the water and then like just kind of snapping at them. I actually really like that. That was a neat little touch.
I was expecting that, and it was nice, especially like double teaming them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's something I saw in the episode, and I don't remember if anything ever happened. Maybe someone can answer that.
You mean everyone just looking at Hikari and noticing
No,
she's
no, no,
there,
no, no, no.
and then just pretending she doesn't exist?
Greymon does the power-up thing, but does he actually do anything, or does he just stop glowing immediately after?
He just stopped glowing immediately after.
Yeah, that was like an original power-up thing where he just got strong enough to get them to the surface, so
Okay,
Taichi
fair
wouldn't
enough.
drown after being underwater for 10 minutes.
Generally, when they do that, they do like a power-up move or something. And
it's been... I
usually
got
some kind of like ranged attack.
Yeah, I bought it that it was just like a
fair enough
boost. Yeah, it was fine.
Do you like how on Twitter they're like, Eldoradomon's actor had some real issues with emoting or whatever it was, and I'm like, wow, it's like, wow, we're gonna hear Eldoradimon talk. I wonder what he's gonna say. And it was just
troll.
Like there was an actual message about that. I'm like, wow, I wonder what he had problems with. Like, what does the voice sound like? And just fucking nothing.
They should have saved that troll for last episode and used it there when Eldoradimon was like in peril and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. The message was the voice actor had a lot of trouble with intonation during dubbing.
Got to get that accent right.
Yeah. This is funny. And then the kids are dealing with the Zurumon who are running away. And AR, you noticed this. A lot of people noticed this. The thing that fixed everything had nothing to do with the Digimon or anything.
The thing that fixed everything?
Oh yeah,
GPS.
Are we on the B team now?
Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's simultaneously like a great use of Koshiro's talent and a terrible use of Koshiro's talent.
Because if that works, someone would have thought of it. If that was the answer.
That's one part of it. Like, I appreciate that they kind of went into detail and kind of sold us on the idea of what he's doing, and it's not just him typing stuff randomly for a couple minutes and saying, done, magic, we're all better now.
The planet!
Yeah. It's like there's actual detail and there's real life systems involved, like all the acronyms that he gave out, like those are real things.
Yeah, but it was something that didn't need him at all to work.
No, there absolutely should have been somebody higher up in a more authoritative position to go, these tankers are crashing into each other and there's this really simple fix that we can do to solve everything. Maybe we should do that.
Like, at least say that a few Zurumon had wandered over to that and there was enough to get rid of them or something. Something to at least involve the characters.
Basically something so that the actual authority figures
couldn't have used
would be shrouded and not be able to fix that, as opposed to what Koshiro does, because the fix has nothing to do with Digimon, and therefore Koshiro is not the only one who can do that.
Yeah.
The other issue is that is the fix. It's not. It doesn't give them, access to it doesn't give them the ability to solve the problem. It straight up solves the problem, and that's
also where it gets weird. Once they solve the problem, the Zurumon just sort of... I thought they were going over to the other system.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah, that's what I assumed too.
And then they just left and were just gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll come back later and start more problems, and
Will,
them
will
not being able, not them them not dealing with the Zurumon is going to cause some major problems later.
I
But
mean, the Algomon just up and left also, to be
yeah,
fair.
that's fair. That's fair. Maybe they'll team up and really cause some problems. Although at this point,
Yellow
it's like, what
Algomon.
yellow Algomon? What sorts of problems can, like, they're the problems that they're creating still aren't topping the original one. Like, the
Yeah,
original problem was nuking Tokyo. How
yeah.
they're still not topping that. Like, this tanker crisis, no matter how global it is not going to beat nuking Tokyo as far as severity.
True.
It's like these problems seem to be getting less severe, and that's a concern.
It's severe in a different way. One is a very focused severe. The other is everything going topsy turvy.
Widespread.
Well, the more focused severe is always going to be more effective, especially in a show like this,
Well,
because they're
mm,
like last episode they were teasing the idea of, oh no, the U.S. and Iran are
nah,
having problems. They're
no.
gonna, and like,
The
come
thing is
on,
that
they're
the
not
thing,
going to go there, and we all know that.
but that's the thing. I didn't really see it as teasing. I saw it as random comment, not as actual
Well,
teasing. Like, oh
right,
no, we need
because
to stop
we
this because things will go wrong because there's almost no way to believe that things just would go wrong randomly. And that's actually part of the issue with doing it in the first place, which is everything is theoretically fixed, but people are still going to try to figure out what happened.
You'd hope so. They certainly didn't get very far the last couple times.
On the plus side, we did get a good face from Mimi.
We did get a good face from Mimi.
Yeah.
I don't give that show that many points for that, because like a good face from Mimi should be mandatory in every episode. So
Yes.
that's like an expectation rather than a, oh cool, they did that.
But Joe's
Like, if you're
also
not getting,
Joe's also doing stuff like standing there and being helpful and not being the butt, which I actually do appreciate because they were going overboard with that, to be honest.
yeah, they're getting, I mean, that's getting back to meeting expectations instead of letting us down week after week and making Joe the butt monkey.
I will take that at the moment because Joe was the
That's
butt basically from the moment. Here's the thing: he was the butt since he was introduced. There has not been even when he was getting his focus cool guy stuff, it would still then invariably end with him slipping or whatever.
yeah. I mean, I think that's the theme of this episode is we'll take it.
Yes.
That's
And
the
and no,
that's how we feel about this episode. It
no,
wasn't as bad as last week. You're still nowhere close to good,
we will
but
take
it's something.
Hikari's just standing there and we will take it.
I mean, if you're gonna have characters with no personality, you might as well sell it that way, like the way they're doing with Hikari.
Yeah.
I'm always down with the completely silent, mysterious, vague expression mystery girl.
It
She's like very, very early on Nene Amano.
and everyone did get their moment of cool after Hikari sucks them into the digital world where we get to see everyone arrive.
That
I
was
like her
also
expression
obligatory.
doesn't change whatsoever, even when she gets to the digital world.
To be fair,
Like,
Hikari doesn't see. I'm willing to go with that for now because she doesn't. It's not actually clear if she actually has any idea what's going on beyond. I hear a voice. I'm fucking wandering around because I have nothing better to do.
she's just generally vague all the time. Like, she never had any personality through the entire show. Like, when she was getting rescued and getting into trouble early on in the train, like, she didn't really emote then either.
She's just a cryptid.
She is. But that's the thing. Unlike Takeru, who, him being a cryptid is kind of a revelation, we knew Hikari was a cryptid going in. Hikari was a cryptid in the original series.
Yep.
Although I do like that her. It's weird because Takeru's introduction was very different from the original show. Hers is too. Hers feels like it might be more interesting. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
The,
that's
pr-
the,
the
that's the
problem the
the setup. The
problem is
setup is good. I don't know if we trust them to do anything interesting with it.
it's very similar to Takeru's right now.
Yeah, I'll
Like, she just
wait.
sort of like, I want to go to the digital world, or I'm being called to the digital world, and suddenly she's in the digital world.
It's like, oh,
And
I
now
heard a
she,
voice.
yeah, heard
Yeah,
a voice. Time to go.
but she's actually there. She's not just waking up. I find that interesting in that it's kind of the inverse of what they did with her last time. So I'm at least willing to see what pops up. But it goes back to not sure if we trust them to deal with it.
Yeah,
I only care
like,
about the kitty anyway.
yeah, like this is another one where it's like you see all the promising potential that it has, and you just at this point don't trust the show anymore to do anything good with it.
Yeah.
But it's there, so cross
Eh,
your fingers.
Someone at least have Spider-Man turn into a sword and have Agumon hit someone with it. He's sitting right there.
This isn't Cross Wars.
I mean that's
But I wish it was.
but that's Spider-Man's fucking thing. That's like
I
that
miss Cross Wars.
that's the character's shtick. I don't need an evolution. Just have him turn into a sword and have Agumon throw it at someone because he doesn't know what to do with it. Do something.
It's like you pick up a motherfucker and beat another motherfucker with it. I mean, Taichi did
Basically,
that the
yes.
first episode.
Yeah, do that. Just have him throw it at someone.
He doesn't even have to be a sword. Just pick him up and just yeet.
Someone
Although, I
throw
get-
Hikari at the enemy. That'll turn out well somehow.
Yes, it will. And then, do we have anything else to say about this episode, really?
Do
I
have
actually
anything
like
else to
seeing
say?
the recolor.
Oh,
Rich
a
recolor.
Waru.
I like Waru.
I'm just glad that we acknowledge that it is just a recolor, because I heard way too much excitement about seeing Waru Seadramon, and then you actually see him side by side with Mega Seadramon, and you just go, wow, that really is just a recolor, and it's not that exciting to see.
They
them
only
both.
they only recolored the mask, so
Yeah. I actually had to like make a note of what the difference between the two was, because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to tell them apart until I noticed the
One has
mask.
a gold mask, one has a black mask, and I believe Waru is technically speaking slightly darker on the body.
Yeah, and then Waru
Oh, the
uses
hair. The hair's
dark
different.
energy attacks. Yeah, the hair is a little different. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of wish they had only gone with Waru. Like, if you're going to push
I don't know.
Waru as making an appearance.
It was kind of interesting to have them both there for no real reason other than it was kind of neat to have them both rather than having two of them.
Yeah, I would have preferred that if they're going to emphasize Waru's appearance, that he appears alone, because when you have both of them side by side, it really does look like there's just a recolor, and you're expecting them to make a no, we're not actually related joke.
Did they really emphasize him though? It was sort of just he was in the
No.
yeah, that's what I mean. There was no real
I think
emphasis that
we sort of, I think as a fan community we sort of went, ooh, our Seadramon's finally going to make an appearance. And
it just
then
gave me Digimon World 2 feels because I had a
I-
Waru Seadramon on my team and a Mega Seadramon.
and then next time we get to see Patamon maybe evolve. I say maybe because it's hard to tell what this show's fucking doing sometimes, which is odd because it's not that complicated. The previews are very sneaky though. Like we see
it's like the
Patamon with angel wings.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
evolution?
like,
Is that a mode change? Or is that just he's the holy Digimon, so holy wings pop out?
it's so obvious that they're teasing an evolution that you're inclined to believe that it's not going to happen, except it's this show, and this show is super obvious.
Yeah. Well, it's like I think in the preview, I thought that I saw, oh damn it, what's the move called? Heaven's Gate.
That's wow.
I
Hmm.
thought
I did not pay enough attention.
I
No,
thought I
I
saw.
didn't. I didn't
I
pay
thought
enough
I saw.
attention either. And if it's Heaven's Gate, that's even more concerning.
I thought I saw the shape of the gate where the round
Yeah,
star gate,
no.
and it has the like key pattern thing in the middle.
Yeah, but because that's Holy Angemon, and that's a wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
curious
hope
to see what
not.
pops up. I'm curious to see
He's
what
like,
pops up.
let's get Patamon to perfect.
Well,
Let's just go all the
that's
way
the
with
thing
it.
is by saying he's special, it could just be the gate pops up and he doesn't evolve, or it could be that I just missaw something. That's very easily a possibility.
That's the thing. Normally, I'd say no, you're way off. There's no way that's going to happen. But this freaking show.
Yeah. Actually, you guys talk. I'm gonna pull up that preview on mute and actually see if it is there or not.
I wish I had more notes about this episode to it. I think we covered pretty much everything I had down to complain about. I had a
Okay,
pretty
okay.
It was
I'm
an
actually.
okay episode.
It's when they do the evolution tease. It spins out, and it's not Heaven's Gate, but it looks kind of like it. It's just the evolution circly thing.
Oh, the
They just make it
Geotoad.
flat. Yeah, they just
Okay.
make it flat, and there's a hexagon pattern. So yeah, it's not Heaven's Gate.
So good news, Mark was crazy. Move along.
Yes. And then it's gonna happen, and we're all just gonna go,
This
Do-
freaking show.
do we have anything else to say about this episode?
No, it was average-ish.
Yeah.
Question mark.
And now, everyone's favorite topic, poll results. What's your favorite Pendulum Z group? Number 1 was Virus Busters with 26% of the vote, which a lot of people were surprised by.
Really?
Number 2 was Deep
Why?
Savers with 22.
I like that they spelled that one out.
Well, remember, automated translator doesn't do everything correctly. Metal Empire 16%, Wind Guardians 14, Nightmare Soldiers 14, Nature Spirits 8. Virus
no one
Busters
likes those
1.
nature spirits.
That one feels weird because a lot of people like the new like the pomegranate guy in that one. So
Yeah, I could see why Deep Savers is pretty high, just because that also had a bunch of new, really cool
Yeah.
Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And Virus Busters 1 for 2 reasons. 1, it has the anime heroes, which is what Virus Busters is, and 2,
Yeah.
because Virus Busters is associated with Omegamon. I mean, remember, there wasn't supposed to be an original Virus Busters pendulum in the first place. They made it just to have Omegamon in one for when the
Yep.
movie came out.
No
That's the
shame.
only reason.
Too predictable.
Yeah. So Omegamon's not even in the poll, and he won.
Good. Which brings us to the new
The next
poll.
poll, which is vote for one Digimon who your favorite, and they'll tell us the top 50 before the year ends. And I would like to congratulate Omegamon.
And all of his various alternatives who will also show up in the top 50.
Yeah.
Possibly every single one.
A few people actually asked, is it possible for Omegamon to lose? Functionally, no. Actually, yes.
No.
But I'm not expecting.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be Omegamon.
No, they gave Omegamon another one to win because he didn't win smartest.
He was 8th.
He was 8th.
He was 8th in something.
That's not acceptable for Omegamon.
He was 8th in something we don't even associate the character with. Yeah.
I'm not even like I don't even feel like I should vote in this one. It's
here's the thing.
What's the point?
Okay.
I already did.
Wait. Okay. Imagine I'm doing the Karnak the Magnificent thing. Omegamon, War Greymon, Dukemon, Beelzebumon, Agumon.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. I'm not saying those are.
I think
Terriermon's also. I feel Terriermon is going to rank pretty high in there.
Terriermon's going to be up there.
High.
I think Alphamon's up there.
I think Vmon's going to be up there.
Vmon's going to be up. Vmon or
Patamon.
Ulforce. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Alter S is going to show up pretty highly. People have liked him.
Angelomon's going to be pretty decently up there, just because like.
Oh, and Angemon.
I don't know which one will end up being higher because on one hand, a lot of people will vote for their waifu.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do, because us guessing Angemon for the top isn't fun. So here's what we'll do to have a bit of fun with it. That isn't just us laughing about Omegamon. How many that you would declare to be unexpected will show up in the top 50? Meaning not just this is an obvious top tier anime hero. This is a top tier one people would know because they showed up a lot in games or had signature toys. who are the ones who theoretically you would not expect to see in the top 50 that would show up number-wise, not naming them? How many do you think?
Probably like 4.
I'm gonna say 10.
Say maybe about like 15.
Okay, so
Because
we
you have to think like because there's all those people who like basically stuff the ballot.
Yeah, that hasn't been working as much, and that doesn't work quite as much on the ones like this, because when it's something like this, you get people doing it for multiple ones, most of which would show up anyways.
I mean, when I say 4, I'm not like alternate Omegamons do not count as
No,
unexpected.
I'm specifically talking about what. Like, here's the thing: if Agumon shows up,
Give me an
Agu,
example of a one you would say as unexpected.
Fangmon.
Yeah,
I was actually gonna say Sanglupon as something that I could see potentially sneaking in there just for.
Well, the thing is, Sanglupmon did sneak in pretty high on another poll. I'm trying to remember which one
I
it
think
was.
that's a dark horse to keep an eye on. Like, that could easily be one of my 4.
Yeah, I feel like there's a number of recolors could be dark horses. Like, a lot of people seem to like Psychmon lately. I think someone just got cut off.
I had a cat just jump on my face. Ow, ow, ow.
Ow! Yeah.
I'm sorry, she's very sharp.
Oh my god. This is fantastic.
We're gonna have our first murder in an episode. I'd say,
baby.
like lately, Psychmon and Tsukaimon feel like they've become more popular lately. Tsukaimon's done a lot of card art that people have really liked, to the point that people seem to be looking forward to seeing him in stuff now.
Yeah, and it is top 50, so you never know who's gonna.
But I'm trying to decide if Tsukaimon would count as unexpected when it's just purple Patamon.
That's the thing, is when we're saying like anything we name is almost by definition not unexpected is the problem.
Yeah. Like Owlmon.
Yeah.
Although even Owlmon's a spin-off of a TV show character, so
Makes me like Valvemon, because like who the fuck has that as their favorite?
No, I know. Are you ready? Garurumon. No one's voting for Garurumon. So yeah, we'll know this by within the next month. So we'll see what pops up there. But yeah, congratulations to Omegamon.
Yep.
And then we have products, this like, so we have more of the kids wear stuff. Pajamas, which the pajamas we saw before, right? Or no, was it the
I think it's pajamas that I know we've definitely seen like the undergarments.
Oh no, it was the shirts last time that we saw.
Yeah.
So here's the weird thing. If you look at the tops, that logo really is based on the English show logo.
It really is.
Which is especially weird when Toei has made a version of the show logo for Japan, where it says Digimon Adventure and everything. They used it once. It was in the card holder they sold at the Real World.
Yeah, I think this logo works better than that one for this particular shirt, but yeah.
To be fair, we never saw the other one in color though. So we don't even know if they were using the show colors or not. But yeah, I like the blue. The blue works very well. So does the gray background. And that comes with Garurumon card, which the art here is really good. It has a nice softness to it.
It's very white.
Yes.
I want to pet the puppy.
The character shop stuff is for sale there and online. I like the art, but I do like when they get away from kind of the boring art, to be honest. And this isn't that.
Yeah, I've said that a couple times, that this is just such standard art that it's like not anything to get excited about.
Yeah. Then we got a bunch more of that of the kids type stuff, which underpants with the Garurumon card. A lot of people want the underpants. Then we have.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Dev's still dying. Then we
Actually, I
have.
think that's the cat purring because she's like up on my throat.
Dev's gonna be dead by the time this episode's over. So we have the sweatshirts with
Yeah.
a Greymon card, which we didn't get higher resolution of it, but it's parallel of the boost starter deck one. We have the ankle socks, which, hey look, it's War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, and that white Digimon from episode 2 and 3, and
The
the one
hell is
whose
And
number I
that?
that
don't
other
remember.
one.
Yeah, whose number I don't remember. Then we have a small. They call it a towel, but doesn't this look like a pot holder?
It does. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they don't clarify exactly. They have or in between the cards, so I don't know if it's random or if they just haven't decided yet. And then we have mini handkerchiefs again featuring War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, and Omegamon. With the Angemon card we saw that was last week, I believe. We saw that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the most beloved of all Digimon Crane Game plushes, the child wanting attention themed ones have returned. Patamon, which I swear this design of Patamon's shown up, or a very similar one has shown up before, with him sitting
It's the
like
same
that.
thing, but it's just like his head is tilted
Yeah.
very ever so slightly.
Yeah. Now the Gobblemon's definitely new, and I like the Gobblemon, and the Terriermon
Yeah.
holding his cheeks is pure gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, those show up December 8th at Crane Game plushes, and soon to be on eBay for $100 each, probably. And then I think we all sort of guessed this is what this was. The Tamer set is a playmat and card sleeves. And it was part of their Black Friday deal, which coupon free shipping. I ordered it as a gift for someone. So, and various other Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday deals still going on. I think Bluefin sold out of the Alphamon. Oh, it's still on sale, but I don't see the buy button, so it might be sold out. Which should tell you how many of the Alphamons they still had, that they were willing to sell that for $30. Poor, I think that one was way too complicated of a toy.
Yeah, I mean, I still found them. They got discounted at Barnes and Noble, so that's where I got one.
Yeah, I still remember they did that. It was a product stream, or I think it was maybe one of the try streams, where they had Victory, Uchida, and someone else come out with them, and they were going to race to transform them, and neither of them could actually do it, and they had to stop.
I remember that.
Yeah, where
And they kept like looking at the instructions and messing it up horribly.
yeah, where it was just so complicated to transform. Here's the thing: it's a nice toy, but it is too complicated to actually deal with for most people. Poor Alphamon. Now he's being cleared out.
I literally only got it for the Doraemon.
Oh,
Fair.
so you had to transform him at least once.
I didn't get that far, and then the cat was in my face, and it's like, oh, I'll finish this later, and then I never did.
I think I think they should have taken their unsuccessful attempts at transforming him, and whatever mishmashy weird hybrid you end up with, that becomes
Score
a
it?
new Digimon. You have to design that as a new Digimon, whatever freakish hybrid you come up with.
I mean, that's kind of what they do with Oryuken, isn't it? Where a lot of times it's just Alphamon without the wings, but he has the sword, and everyone just goes, it's Alphamon with the Oryuken, but it's not Alphamon Oryuken.
It's not wrong.
I'll be back in a second. I'm going to relocate the cat.
Good luck.
In the
And then-
dumpster.
And then we got a new teaser for Project VB, which is a very nice looking Agumon sprite in someone's hand with the I can never say the word right. Anaglyph. The red and blue 3D glasses, the stereotypical ones, which has everyone thinking that, okay, this is definitely something augmented reality, probably. And the Agumon sprite is very nice. And I swear it went up, and I saw people going, well, that sprite looks too nice for a high resolution VPET. It should have been lower resolution. And I just
No,
sighed.
we don't
Pe-
want high res anything.
People have been begging for high res color sprites for years. High res color sprite. Why aren't they making high res color sprites? Why are they still doing the 8x8 sprites? And then
We
people
want the barely discernible 8x8s
yeah.
always.
And then people are like, well, this is too nice. It should have been 16x16 like the others. And it's like, this is a nice looking sprite. This looks like the Battle Spirit sprite, but nicer.
How dare they go up to Super Nintendo quality?
Yes, I believe this is 32x32, I think. I lazily measured it at some point, but stopped because why? And we will find out about Project VB on December 7th. And people teasing that they know about this are getting worse. They're getting because the problem is at this point now you just have people just teasing that they know stuff about it, and the teases are just the generic-y ones. I'm trying to pull up one of them.
I mean, with this sprite image, it looks like my Virtual Boy theory is still on track.
Yeah, but I want to pull it up because some of them, people trying to pretend like they know stuff are getting cartoony at this point.
Oh, jeez.
Where is it?
Are you going? Is this bad Reddit takes corner?
No,
again?
it was not. No, this wasn't Reddit. It was multiple people on Twitter just like, I know stuff. It's like, it's going to have higher resolution sprites and blah, blah. It's the type of teases where it doesn't say anything. You couldn't just guess randomly and be reasonably sure that you're going to be right.
Someone's uncle at Toei knows what Bandai's putting out again.
Yeah. Oh, here's one. It's going to be mass produced and not a premium Bandai product. I think we all guessed that when it was not at Premium Bandai's website.
Ace Detective.
Yeah. Let's see. I was going to find one more take and then we'll move on from that. It also helps Dev run around and deal with the cat. Ah.
I'm
Okay.
trying to
Okay.
imagine
Oh,
there's
okay.
nowhere in the vicinity to put this cat. That's
Yeah.
why she's
Okay.
been gone so long.
Are you ready for a good one?
Yeah.
Someone saying it would not be the old higher resolution sprites. But they said that after the sprite was shown, and it clearly was not one of those. Because the old high resolution sprites were the like the Digivice ones and the Pendulum Progress, I believe. Was it the Pendulum X?
So is this someone just posting on Twitter, or are they making a 10-minute YouTube video about why this is
I've
obviously this obvious thing is going to be the case?
I've seen them on Twitter, but I'm sure there's videos all about people going, there's been leak. It's sort of like, do you see the card game post people make on Twitter where everything is just being said to be leaks? Everything.
I have not, but I
Yeah.
feel grateful for that.
Okay. Yeah. So, like for
I don't know
example,
what Twitter is.
we have a bunch of card game previews this week, and most of them are from the card game Twitter or Fun Digica. People take snapshots of Fun Digica and post them and tag that they're leaks.
It's like, you keep using that word. I don't think you understand what it means.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. We do have some actual things that might be considered leaks this time, like, well, first, for card previews, Digimon, which everyone loved seeing. Great looking art. We got to see the Savers Trio, which everyone was super happy to see them. New art. It looks really good. It looks more show-like than we've generally gotten for, because like they kind of fudge Masaru when they show him when he shows up in recent memory.
Especially because a lot of the time he's showing up in crossover situations, and the art style for Savers is such a departure from
everything.
Nakatsuru that it's like you gotta, you just want to soften that a little bit. But here you can be all Sabersy glory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks nice. Then right after that, we got to see Taichi and Koshiro, which people seemed very confused by some of the card choices. We got to see Flamon and Strabamon.
Yeah. Yeah.
which,
There's your frontier love.
yeah. Well, and the Frontier stuff continued because this might have actually been last week where when we got Agnemon and those where we saw how they actually evolved from Tamer cards.
Mm-hmm.
So that made a lot of people go, aha, we know who the Tamers are going to be this time. And they're not. And a lot of people were very confused by that. So a small explanation of what's going on with that may help. So most of the choices for the card game are basically bait. This set already has plenty of Frontier bait in it. So you have the two child forms which fans like. They don't show up a lot. We have a bunch of a number of higher level Frontier Digimon. They've teased Ancient Greymon. Um, a new game mechanics introduced that's based around Frontier's Digimon. They don't need to. Anyone who would buy the set for Frontier stuff, they've already been caught on the line. So they're waiting to put the Frontier kids in for a different one because they don't need to use them here. Basically, we get a nice wide net where every set the priority is going to be whatever's currently coming out. Right now, that's the show. So we get Taichin Koshiro. The Savers kids are thrown in as bait. We get some of their Digimon. We get Meikumon for Tri. It's just a wide variety. We get two versions of Chaosmon, which people like. Darkjamon people like. It's just a wide variety of bait. I mean, we even get Gogmamon shows up in previews. We get Kenji Watanabe drawing art of a card that's a remake of two cards from the original card game, which we have Plutomon showing up in an option card, and he's actually colored black this time. We have Blastmon, which anyone who liked Cross Wars saw Blastmon and went, awesome. Or Bushi Agumon looks great, and that's one who doesn't show up all that much.
Really love the art for that one.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a matter of spreading out what they're aiming. Frontier's taking care of in this set. They're not going to burn through all of it, and that's also why you don't get. A lot of people are like, "Well, what about Satsuma and Ikuto?" They have the
what?
they have the main. I saw a lot of
Yeah,
people who thought those
you've
two
got-
were going to be in there.
you start with the power trio.
Yeah, they're not going to do them all because there's enough favorite. This set has already baited for Adventure, Savers, Frontier. We know they're going to throw in some other stuff, and sometimes the bait doesn't even need to be obvious. Like for fans of Victory Greymon, we know he's showing up. But for anyone who's not a hardcore fan of the franchise, they're going to see Victor Greymon. You know what they're going to say? Wow, War Greymon has a sword.
Yeah, I mean, you got the power trio for Savers, and Ikuto is always number 4 in that list. Like, he's always sort of optional, even though he's clearly one of the main
He's
cast.
like he's basically the 6th Ranger.
Yeah.
He's definitely the 6th Ranger.
Okay, also,
but he's even more so than like Hikari or Ken.
Okay, maybe someone can answer this. I keep looking at the Anubamon card, and is that just like a general pose associated with the moon, or is that 100% a Sailor Moon pose?
I didn't get I only got kind of a Sailor Moon vibe out of that.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what
she does that during the transformation.
No, she does. I just don't necessarily see what Anubismon's connection to Sailor Moon would be to necessitate that pose.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, he is God of the Moon, Anubis?
Like underworld type of.
But like, you have the moon behind him and everything, and I just keep going. This really
he's also
fucking
a
looks
jackal,
like
and
Yeah.
He's a jackal, and jackals are nocturnal-ish.
And then we have we've pointed this out before. Sarubamon Werewolf Mode really doing that Gundam pose, which they've used on a few other cards before. Not for him, but just
in general.
Yeah. Then the early magazine shows this art for Ryze Greymon. For some reason I always mix up saying Wolfmon and Lobomon. It's one of the few Digimon I do not keep straight. It's Wolfmon in Japanese, correct?
It's because it's weird
Yeah.
because you expect the generic one to be the English. Frontier pulled that a couple times.
Yeah. We get Orochimon, Baboongamon, which nice to see some of the really new Digimon showing up. And then the data version of Megalo Gromon, which feels like a bit of a twist, but happy to see it. And could that photo have been taken with any more glare over Ryze Greymon? You can't see him at all, really. And then
It's like those. It's like when you have a picture in an anime
Yeah.
and you want to shroud part of it, like they did
Yeah.
with Masaru's dad.
Yeah. Bunch of card game videos. Card Battle 8 had no battles in it at all. They actually did something interesting that I think this is the type of thing where you build up fans of the card game. They went over Starter Decks 4, 5, and 6, which had just come out, and showing what small changes you could make just buying a couple booster packs. That's actually a really clever thing to show. Fun Digica went over rules. They did a green versus green match. We got the first English Fun Digica, which still had Cody and Hideyoshi and also had... Okay, wait, I need to check the exact title they give Jason, who is added as the English speaker. The title they give him is the Digimon Card Game Enjoys Foreign Affairs Department. Yeah. So going over that, and they say in the next one they'll be playing using the English cards, so I would like to see if that becomes ongoing or if they try to slide out Cody and Hideyoshi for English speakers for an ongoing one. Or at the very least, please use soft subtitles rather than the giant colored subtitles they were doing. We got Booster Set 5 details from a sales sheet, which Omegamon was bullet point 1. Doesn't shock anyone. Second is we're going to start getting X versions of Digimon, which that's like the frontier gimmick from 4. And we get a Taichi and Yamato card. We haven't seen that before, have we?
Oh, how about that?
Although it appears it's them on the same
For
card this
them.
time. Yeah. It appears it's at least the same card. We got our first printable English mat, which is the one for 1, 2, and 3. But it's basically the one we already saw. And then we got the Japanese mat for 4, 5, and 6. I will say that they laid out the art really nice for that. So that I'm pleased with that, to be honest. They just laid it out really well. The card game showed up in a UK card game magazine on the cover, which the Dukemon art really worked well for that. And I don't think most people noticed the others were in the background before seeing it on the cover here. Because a lot of people were very excited by that. And then the big card game news was, starting with Booster Set 4, we aren't getting these special jumbled up boosters anymore. We get
that's good.
We get the standard booster box. We get 4, 5, and 6, but they're still going to include booster packs to customize them. And those are May 7th. And I believe that is all the card game stuff for this week. They really need to give it a break for a while. And then
Not happening.
Yeah, we got nice profile art of Eldoradimon large. For Good Twins Day, they put up art of Terramon and Lopmon, which already existed, but nice to see. And we may have gotten an answer to... I think we asked this last week. We were wondering if he actually draws the day of in most cases. He does,
Apparently, yes.
he was busy the day of, so there was nothing from Kenshi Watanabe. He had drawn stuff to bring to the doll event he was going to, so we posted that, but there was nothing, and that was exactly when the show was happening, was when the show aired.
Mm-hmm.
So we seemingly have an answer. Now, it could have been ahead of time, and because of the prep, he didn't have the time, but yeah. Yeah, he brought postcards and canvas prints to sell at the. I don't remember what the company that he does stuff with. I want to say Good Smile, but it's definitely not. And then we have questions. So while we start with the ones that were sent in ahead of time, you guys in the chat can start throwing them up. Someone wants to know, will we go over the Blu-rays from other countries for Kazuna? The answer is no. Mostly because I just don't plan on spending the money to import discs from other countries just to go thumbs up or thumbs down. If someone wants to send me screenshots and scans, I will do what I need to do to get them up, but I don't plan to import them. And I don't think anyone's really interested in having a disc shipped to the US just to hear what I think about it. So, no real plans for that. Someone wants to know, how do we avoid sounding like we're ever fighting on the show? I mean,
We're adults.
yeah, you can. We disagree all the time. You don't have to. We do have a tendency to step on each other. That's mostly just that we're paying attention to what each other says and don't want to forget what we're about to say. But we don't actually argue because we are adults and that is possible.
It's
Also,
like we're functional.
yeah. Also, we're talking about Digimon, and Digimon is not something to get really heated over, like, seriously.
Hey man, are you saying that people like Digimon can't start some shit?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, be subtle about it. Don't be sly.
I've
I
seen
troll,
the
you know,
ship wars, so
yeah.
I've
Like,
been
if
there.
you're gonna do it, like, troll, be subtle about your trolling.
Yeah.
Don't get all
Yeah.
furious and sanctimonious about things.
I mean, the reason I started doing Digimon panels at conventions was because pretty
You could
much
throw
every
people out
single
the roof.
Digimon panel I've been to basically just devolved into people shouting at each other about their OTPs.
See, that's really funny because I did panels for several years, and then at Anime Central a couple of years ago, a couple of girls decided that I didn't talk about shipping enough, and it didn't come up enough at my panels that they ran their own panel on Digimon shipping, and they did a very good job with it. But I always found that so funny because the only reason I don't talk about shipping in my panels is because nobody ever brings it up. And
Well,
that disappoints me because I love talking
well,
about it.
that's the thing is it is fun to talk about, but as much as it is fun to talk about, it really doesn't come up in the show as much as you'd think based on how much people talk and argue about it.
It's a sign of, I know that I brought this up on Discord a couple of weeks
It's a
ago.
sign of being
It's a
interested in
sign
the
of
characters.
it's a sign of investment in the characters, and it's a sign that there are interesting character interactions happening. Like, obviously you're not
Wait, that's
actually
a lie. That's a brutal lie, AR, and you know it because people are still shipping for the new show.
but they're shipping on the new show based on their preconceptions of these characters. Like, they're seeing,
Partially,
if I think
because
primarily, like, I think, and I'm getting questions about. So, do you think, like, based because Sora and Yamato were teamed up on when they split up the first time, that means that they're trying to lean into that again? I'm like,
yeah,
no.
that's exactly the one I was thinking of. Where people are going, well, Tai and Mimi were together in a few episodes. Like Koshiro's standing there, and there was nothing shipping there at all.
No,
It is just,
there's
it's just,
there's
yeah,
like
exactly.
no ship content happening at all in this new series, and they've had ample opportunities especially between Taichi and Yamato, which is one of the primary ships in the original series. There's nothing going on between them this time, and it's actually
They
really
haven't punched each other
disappointing.
in the face yet.
Right. Like, come on, where's that sexual tension they had in Try? Bring that back.
Yeah,
Try
but
was all over that.
yeah. Scale wants to know: do we think that before the year ends, we might see Darkmon and Holy Angemon fight? Let's wait until we see Angemon first. After we see Angemon, the answer is maybe.
Yeah, it's like it feels
Yeah.
like at the rate we're going, Holy Angemon might be
Yeah.
in before the end of the year, which is really bad,
Yeah.
but
And Scale also wants to know: when do we think we'll see Tailmon and Angelmon? Here's the thing: it could be anywhere from next week to 3 months from now.
Oh, I don't think it'll
It-
be 3 months from now.
oh,
I
I
think
don't. I
it'll
don't think it is
be
either. I'm just saying it could be any. We could be in for 10 episodes of the show has been extended due to COVID, and now we need 10 episodes where even less happens. And I would love,
no.
I would love the,
Yeah.
I would love episodes to happen where nothing happens and the characters are just standing around. At the moment, I'm really craving that, to be honest. I think everyone else
M2.
is also.
Yeah, I am too. I think that this would be a really weird time to do it with Hikari not having any sort of
Oh,
partner. I think it's going to be with like if it's within a week or 3
okay.
at the most.
I think you missed. I didn't mean 10 in a row. I meant like
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
I meant like throw in an episode. They throw in an episode at 28, 36, where the characters stand around and do nothing, and it's just to extend the show running for another 10 episodes.
I hope they do that. I
Yeah, I'd
just
love that.
yeah, like
How
please.
how about this? Do what Dragon Ball did. Have Taichi and Sora go to get their license. Everyone loved that episode of Dragon Ball, even though they claim to hate filler.
Yeah, the problem with filler is you do have to try to be a little bit subtle about it. Like you still have to have something happening, even if it's not all that important.
See,
But
see,
you
here's the
still
thing.
like you can
That's
emphasize you can emphasize both character and action in the same episode. It's not against the law, and
that's part of that's part of what
that's
this
one thing
show's
that
been
other
very
series
odd with.
do.
The show keeps doing things you would take as filler, except that things keep happening in them.
Barely. Like it's a
It's
question of
weird.
how
Yeah.
I mean it's a question of how important you think certain things are. Like I don't necessarily put stock in like an episode with a new evolution. I don't consider a particularly meaningful episode unless there is character development attached to that. Like the string of episodes where everyone went perfect didn't really accomplish all that much for me.
Yeah, the way
Like
I would put it is,
those were very close to being considered filler for me.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the out of those, I think I like the one with like Mimi and Lilymon the most. That felt the least like filler.
Because that was a very character driven episode.
Yeah. The way I would put it is Alteros bad, Sagittarius good, and those are two episodes that were right next to each other, both focusing on the same thing basically. One just happened to
And
do it well.
in one of those, something actually happened.
And then the next week nothing did.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know, what did we get from all the recent sales?
Are we talking like Steam sales or Black Friday or?
It just said recent sales.
Okay.
I took that to mean anything black. Well, it was before today, so they definitely didn't mean Cyber Monday. But let's just go ahead and assume any recent or ongoing sale in the
Yeah,
last.
I bought one game in the Steam sale, and that was not that. It was it's a sequel to a game called It'll Do, which is kind of a cute little Zelda clone that is sort of spoofing. It very much spoofs 2D Legend of Zelda. Very heavy emphasis on puzzles over the
Not
fighting.
not familiar
It's
with that one.
it's very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I found out very recently they'd made a sequel to it, so I bought that.
Oh,
So I
good.
might take a look at
Hopefully
that
you'll
because
enjoy
that
that.
seems like right up my alley.
Yeah, that
Oh,
feels like mine.
it's a very fun. I'll link it on Twitter at some point.
Yeah. I got. Go ahead, Dev.
The only thing I really got, just because I was like working the entire weekend from 6 a.m. to like 4 p.m. and then went home and died, I picked up a couple of Squishables.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Well,
their stuff's nice.
they just
Digimon
opened
ones
up
or normal?
the normal ones. They had like a buy one get one half off sale at
Ah.
the pop-up store up at my local mall. So it's just like, hell yeah, Christmas presents.
I wish I'd known about that because we bought a couple for the kid, and he can always use more. He always likes more stuffies.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was online or if it was like only in the actual like physical locations.
Yeah, I actually grabbed a few plushes on sale to give to my niece for Christmas. They had Mickey and Minnie ones for $10, and they're like a foot and a half tall or whatever. So I
Nice.
nabbed a few of those. I nabbed the Game Pass vouchers because I got the new Xbox and decided to use it as a Game Pass box. Just Netflix for games, and everyone was selling vouchers like for 50% of the normal cost of the subscription. So I just got stacks of them and input them all, and my subscription's good until like 2022 now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like 3 months is normally like $35, and places were selling the vouchers for 20, so I just bought a stack of them. Everything else I wanted was sold out wherever it was. I was gonna replace an old EverDrive, but the place that sells them were sold out for their Black Friday sale. So we'll
That
see.
for me, like my car payment kind of like wiped out my last paycheck, and
Yeah,
bad timing.
makes sense. Ramon wants to know: were we surprised how the Digimon TCG sold out during the pre-sale? No, it's not really. It's a limited stock pre-sale. It was never not gonna sell out. I remember some store with stores aren't really supposed to say what the terms are. It was something like however many things they bought for some recent Dragon Ball event, they could buy the same amount of Digimon stuff. But it was like a Dragon Ball event like right after COVID ordering started. So it was one of those where they had stock, and a good chunk of it was also bought by scalpers who are now trying to sell the starter decks for $20, $25, $30. So don't buy them from scalpers. Wait, there'll be plenty in January, and then in February, and then in May. There'll be plenty of them.
Yeah,
Don't pay for
card
scalpers.
game things are just like one of those things that people go nuts for, especially during the holidays. Like even
Yeah.
my local Target, it's like you're limited to 2 card game related things
Yeah,
at all for purchasing.
yeah. Okay. The next question that was sent in, I feel like this is one of the rare times when a question like this, all three of us will answer the same thing. If you only go by animation quality, what Digimon animation is the best? Kazuna.
Well, are we? Yeah, it's like, are we talking about the series, or are we talking about? Are we allowing? Can we count Kazuna? Because Kazuna is obviously the answer if
the
you can count it.
message as sent said Digimon animation.
It's
I
Kazuna.
did not change a word of
Definitely
that one.
Kazuna.
Okay,
Yeah.
but okay, let's go ahead and discount Kazuna because it is completely on a different level than fucking anything.
Yeah. Then it's the new series.
Let's go ahead.
If we can't count movies,
Okay,
then
how about
series.
we discount things from the last year just because even the new series is of a different type of animation. I'm gonna say War Game.
Yeah, then it's a toss up between our War Game and Cross Wars, honestly.
I'm gonna say
Actually,
like for series,
the
definitely
first
Cross
one.
Wars.
Yeah, for series,
the first movie.
For series, if it's not the new one, it's Cross Wars.
The first movie looks really nice. It's just easy to forget that.
Yeah,
and yeah,
I think our War Game
Wars
is.
looked really
I think
nice.
our War Game is still better than the. I like our War Games animation better than the first movie.
Well, that director's art style is like really unique and just kind of like really nice in general. It's very recognizable.
And that's what really gets the first movie is just Hosoda's art style just on display, and in our War Game they're just able to push it up to another notch because of that Omegamon Diablomon fight.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Balmung has a jokey question. How would it react if the anime had an episode that made a big deal about an alternate evolution line, and then it just ends up being Gabumon turning into Garurumon?
I would not be surprised if they pulled that crap in the least.
I would fucking love it.
Here's the thing. The franchise has pulled that joke before. In fact, the one that I remember is Omegamon's back. And then it was, what was it, Betsumon?
Oh, was that the Bets? They did that with the Betsumon episode?
I think that was I think that was Betsumon and Hunters, where everyone hears that like Omegamon's been seen, and Taiki's like, Omegamon's back, and they go and you see Omegamon from the back, and it's drawn all regal and cool and everything, and then he spins around and it's Betsumon wearing an Omegamon costume.
I love that they did that. And
Yeah.
see that you can get away with that for the Betsumon episode, and they're like, okay, yeah, we've
Yeah.
been had. That's Betsumon's thing.
Yeah,
But if they did that,
pretty
if
sure
they did
that's
that
what
at other
Hunters did.
times, I think people might legitimately be bad, which I would find hilarious. But
Yeah, it worked for Hunters also in the way that
oh yeah, it
Hunters
totally
was
works for
told.
Hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a good.
Also, it's because Omegamon does actually appear in Cross Wars.
Yes, as an important character
So
who they know. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Here's a good one. Do you think they can keep up the art quality on the card game?
Oh, definitely.
yeah, oh yeah,
Here's
totally.
the thing. They're keeping a cycle of artists, so you don't have anyone doing a ton of cards, minus when they've had the specialty cards with Asmaria and Kenji Watanabe, where they do 10 of them on top of the normal. But that's also just 10, and they know ahead of time they're doing those like here's the thing, that's not Kenji Watanabe doing his full color art. They did those monochrome. The Asmariel ones, he kind of, it was almost more like a hand painted style rather than his normal inked style. So they're clearly taking stuff into account, and you only get a handful of each artist per set, and they're adding new people, and that's how you keep it up. You're not killing anyone to get the sets done. Ian wants to know, yeah,
You're not burning out your poor artists.
basically, yeah. And especially with stuff like Kenji Watanabe or Asmaria, if you need them to do 10 bonus cards, they're probably being told quite a bit ahead of time, and that's clearly being taken into account in what they did. Like I said, the Kenji Watanabe ones, those aren't colored, and we've all seen him go overboard coloring stuff. So someone just said,
And
you don't
one
need.
thing they don't bring up too often is sometimes artists, especially like Kenji Watanabe, would have like a backlog of art that wasn't
Yeah.
posted anywhere. So it's just like grab it and then just finish it up.
Yeah, like the Mugen Traman one we saw a few weeks ago. I don't think we've ever seen that art before anywhere. And he said it had been on his wall for years. And still card game related, Ian wants to know, how do we feel about the Japanese attack names being used on English cards? Does it bother me?
They're so inconsistent about using English names everywhere that you really can't say that there are canon English names because they're all over the place with that. So whatever.
There's some that are consistent enough, like Pepper Breath, I would say.
Yeah, there's some
but not many.
If you mess with Pepper Breath, I suppose maybe it would raise an eyebrow. But I think there are places where they even mess up with Pepper Breath.
Okay. Beautiful Soul has a good one. Do you think we'll see 99 versions of the kids, or will they only do the 2020? They will, but it's not going to be a focus while the show's on. It will be something like parallel cards or special promo cards, or or they will go with O2 Tri or Kazuna design, something where they can still put in the current show without it confusing anyone.
Yeah, and I think they would use 1999 at some point, even potentially before the current show is over.
I agree. I just think they'll find a way to be clever about it.
Yeah, I mean they already put Daisuke and Ken in there. It's like they'll
they're not in the show.
They're not in the show yet.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a good one. Someone wants to know: are we going to discuss the stuff in the new Digivice? So here's the thing: we can, but the problem is that there's already stuff in there that doesn't line up with the show. And I know what they want us to talk about. Oh, you can evolve into Kreskarumon, Blitz Greymon, and Alter S. Very interesting. I don't think it would shock anyone if that happened.
Is that what they were? Is that what everyone's been up about?
Because you can not only be Omegamon, you can also be Alter S. Here's the thing: there's stuff like in the photos of Area 1 that people have taken. When you fight Algomon, it's not the one from the show. It's he has the face and everything from the movie.
Yeah.
Or Sagittarius and Alteros are not in it. Period. So it's not like it's matching up with the show as we know it even now.
It's like they're expecting it to be like a 1-to-1 match and thus full of like spoilers.
Oh, I'm sure.
I feel, someone was on Discord and keeping those in spoilers tags, and it's like I didn't click on them in case it was something that would be potentially relevant. But if that's what they were talking about, good lord.
Yeah, that's what it was. I decided to just tell people you spoilers because at some point something's gonna slip that probably is a spoiler. But in the case of a general discussion, it's stuff we've already talked about. Like
Yeah.
you can have everyone was like, she's gonna be Ophanimon in the show. The toy said so, and in the toy you can also Holy Dramon.
Seriously.
Yes, or guess who Patamon can evolve to? Pegasmon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So
Okay.
are we gonna get
Okay.
Pegasmon next week in the show? Maybe, but there are times it's just a toy. Because here's the thing.
Pegasusmon does have wings.
Yeah, but like for example, who's one of the hero Digimon you can choose in the new Digivice? Oh look, it's Vidramon, which was true in the.
I did hear that one. That
Well,
people were. Yeah.
that was in the original one also, where he
Oh,
was
yeah,
one of the
totally.
partners you could choose.
Yeah.
And he's back in
Obviously,
this
that
one.
means V-Tamer Taichi is going to show up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of
clearly.
those things where would any of us be?
I feel had for not clicking on those spoiler things.
Yeah. Here's the thing: is anyone going to be shocked if Alter S shows up in the show? Not really.
No,
I
not
kind
at all.
kind of don't want to see it, if I'm being honest, because it doesn't feel exciting in the way that something like Merciful Mode does, where.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay. Galhart wants to know: do we think they will port Next Order to PC and Switch? If they can't figure out Survive at some point, they have to do something. Yeah.
That's the only way I'd play it. I'm kind of hoping they do, because it would give me an excuse to buy.
I'm not fucking playing it. Period.
I'll buy it on sale, but I still would buy it.
I mean, if it was like $25 on Switch, I
Yeah.
mean, I'd get it mostly just for research purposes.
Like Cyber Sleuth went down to like 20 at one point during these sales.
It was Humble had it for 20, and if you were one of their subscription members, it was 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll get down there eventually, and at that point, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Not until that point, but yeah.
Yeah.
For Next Order.
Last up, Nico wants to know, what are our lowest expectations for Tailbon to appear? Her bio seemed kind of cool behind the scenes, but now I'm not so sure it'll be anything interesting. Now, the whole time
how this is worded fantastically. I love how this is worded.
The whole time I've had this up in a window so I could actually just pull it up quickly. Are you ready for Tailmon's bio for the new show?
I'm glad you pulled this up, because I forgot what it was.
Okay.
Same.
Hikari is Digimon partner. She indirectly influences Taichi and the others during battles. Where she is and why she won't appear is a mystery. I think we know who upgraded the laptop.
If only they'd be that clever.
They're probably going to. My guess is that they're probably going to just like drop her off on someone's doorstep in a box.
See, here's the thing. I can see that happening in a flashback.
Seriously, my lowest expectations for Tailmon to appear would be the same plot as she had in the original. That would be the low point for me. That would be as low as they can go, is to do the same thing with her working for the bad guys, and something Wizardmon, she becomes a good guy and partners with Hikari. That's as bad as it could get for me.
That is absolute. I can't think of anything lower than just
the same thing.
Yeah, because here's the thing: as the show has many problems, it is at least doing things that are different, even with Devimon, or things they are redoing. If they pull out a one-to-one plot like that for something that's actually important, that means they gave up for that plot.
Yeah, and the Wizardmon thing seems like it would be exactly the kind of thing that they would repeat for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah, I could see them redoing the Wizardmon thing, to be honest. I just don't want everything to be beat for beat. If they do Wizardmon again and they leave it at that, fine. Just I don't want beat for beat.
Yeah, I mean, especially because
exactly the same thing.
Especially because the beats in original Adventure, aren't actually that good when you break them down narratively. Like, you can make that plot.
They're character beats.
Yeah, you could make those character beats a whole lot better and more fleshed out. You could do
Yeah.
a lot better telling that Wizardmon story.
Yeah, the reason why Adventure works is it is very kid-friendly, easy to digest story beats based on characters you really like.
Yeah.
And even if the new show was to repeat those beats, it has not built up the characters enough to make that work.
Yes.
Yeah. And
They are cardboard cutouts of their 1999 selves.
Sora has a knife.
She can cut through the knife that can cut through cardboard.
No,
So basically,
it can
she's
cut through her
like the
personality.
live-action Dora the Explorer.
There you go.
I don't remember what Dora says. I was going to say it for the joke, but I do not remember it.
I don't remember if she says anything interesting in the movie because I haven't seen the movie, but I know what Dev's talking
I'm
about.
pretty sure someone gave me the movie and I haven't watched it.
I've heard it's pretty good, actually.
Oh, I heard
I-
it was fucking horrible.
I
I
want
heard it
to
was like,
watch it.
yeah. But yeah, so it will be. Actually, Galahart says something interesting that's not wrong, but there's an interesting reason to bring it up. He says he thinks that the show was built for Netflix-like binging. I don't think it'd be that interesting to binge. Not enough happens.
No. It'd be if you start binging it, it's like it becomes even more formulaic.
Yeah,
The way it's like action, action,
here's the thing,
action.
though.
Okay, it's getting old now.
I can understand why that would be a reaction to it, but the problem is it just ends up being fight after fight, and it's sort
It
of
wears
like,
it down quicker.
yeah. I mean, we're kind of worn down, and we're watching it weekly, and
Yeah.
I think all three of us are kind of worn down by it. It's part of why we can. The most recent episode, it's not a great episode, but we're all kind of happy with it just because it didn't kill us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. That
But
said,
There are a lot of
I
other. There are plenty of
trying
other
to-
things that are killing us right now.
Like
Yeah.
I actually remember I fell behind when Dragon Ball Super was airing in the final tournament arc. And AR, you don't follow Dragon Ball, correct?
No.
Dev, you don't follow Dragon Ball, correct?
Dragon Ball Z, I stopped.
Okay. The last arc of Dragon Ball Super is a 47 episode all for one match for 47 episodes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'd say that. I'd echo that, but it's Dragon Ball, so I'm not surprised.
But here's the thing. They make it work because they loophole in Krillin and Master Roshi and characters who are interesting to see do stuff. But it is long, and I remember times when I'd be like, okay, I don't have time to watch it this week, but it's fine. I'll watch it in a few weeks. And then I'd be behind by 10 episodes, and it's like, after 2 or 3 episodes, I would just stop it and walk away because I just couldn't. I loved it. I could not binge it because it's too much. Even enjoying it, I had to walk away at times because, yeah. I understand why you'd want to binge the new show. I just don't think it would work in most cases. Because here's the thing, everyone's gonna be able to binge something.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of which series of Digimon would be the best to binge.
WtW or Cross.
Yeah, Cross Wars comes up. I don't think it's WtW because you have the Holy Stones arc, which is just such a
I
drag.
think WtW works because WtW is jokey and character based enough that even when it does drag, there's stuff to be entertained by enough until an episode or two passes.
Other than the Holy Stones arc, I would agree with that. The Holy Stones arc killed me. Last time I did WtW, I kind of marathoned it, and I got to that arc, and it was a real slog.
Yeah.
But Cross Wars, I do agree. I think
I have binged Cross Wars before. It is very enjoyable.
You know what I think would actually be really good binging it? Hunters.
Only so you could get it over as fast as possible.
That's the only reason I'd want to binge
here's
Hunters.
why. Hunters is not a good Digimon series. It does what it's trying to do decently well, and I actually think binging it would come across as stupid fun with battles, and you could sit there and watch it and be reasonably happy sitting there with a snack watching it.
Yeah, that's another one though I think would get, samey and tiresome over time like the new series though. I think
But there's more personality in Hunters though to
there is
make it
more
work.
personality in Hunters, but I don't think it's entertaining enough, that personality, to sustain you over a binge session.
I mean, every episode
You
is
might be right.
basically the same.
Yeah, that's what you're looking to avoid when you're looking for something to binge, and that's why Cross Wars I think is a good
So
choice.
Hawk mentions Atmon, and I actually did binge Atmon because when we decided to go over the whole series, I hadn't finished it because I'd been busy. It is not easy to binge Atmon because
Yeah,
while
Atmon doesn't strike me as...
while Atmon does change priorities in a way that works well to be snappy, that only works week to week the way Atmon does it. When you're watching it, it feels more manic. You kind of wanna. The problem is it doesn't feel like you're watching a coherent show if you keep watching Atmon over and over and over. It's
You also
it's
want
episodic.
it's the opposite problem where it's not samey enough. Like it's
yes,
almost and you also, when you're binging something, you do want a little bit of a build up
yeah,
in momentum as you go along. And that's one thing Cross Wars is really good at, especially in its second half.
yeah,
That is again another point for that being bingey.
yeah.
God, I need to binge Cross Wars again. It was so fucking good.
I honestly, for research purposes, I actually watched a few episodes of Cross Wars over the weekend, and I quite enjoyed it.
I really do want a Cross Wars Blu-ray box. It is literally the first time the Blu-ray box would really, really matter. And
Yes.
We've talked
yeah,
about that.
yeah.
So we
I
don't
think
need
we
to
talked about it
go
last
over
week. In
that
fact,
again.
I think we talked about it last week.
It might have been the last time someone mentioned the
Yeah,
Sabers Blu-ray possibility.
yeah. I think that's about it for this week. AR, do you have anything coming up? Where can they find you? And what other things am I forgetting to say for you?
Digimon.firstagent.net is my review blog. Episode 26 review is now up there. Other than that, it's like I don't know what I'll be posting for this week, but read Nexus World, because I just posted that Friday, so that should tide you over for a little while.
And then, if I finish my work in a week, then me and Dev will be in the middle of the hurricane of seeing if we can throw together enough for Digimonica. We will see. Every time I keep pushing to get further ahead to make it work, and it's like, oh, power is going to be out in my area from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. It's like, oh, hours where I could be productive, and then I am going to wake up and there will be no boiler. And
Oh,
it's like what? I can't fucking have a Tuesday. So we will see.
You don't need a boiler to put together Digimonica.
No, but I need to get my stuff done, and having a shower and cleaning up and everything would be nice to start the day with, rather than, oh, the boiler is going to be disconnected at 10 a.m. and it will not be connected until 6 p.m.
You and your
no, I'm that kind of
luxury.
person that does like all the showering at night and then passes out immediately afterwards.
So high maintenance. Come on.
Dev,
Shower.
what Wikimon article would you like people to read that will not be sourced properly because no one at Wikimon fucking sources except you?
It is all Ralmon today. So since we were talking about all
Oh
of
my god, we were talking about
fun
Palacross
recolors.
earlier. I was gonna bring up Al Rauman. Thank you.
Who?
Al Rauman.
It's the Palmon
The
recolor.
Palmon palette swap.
Oh, I never remember that thing's name. Yeah, the one where it's a slightly different green and pink. Is it pink or
Yep.
no? It's a dark purple.
It's purple.
Yeah, it's a dark purple. But yes, where it's just a slightly, it's more Garurumon than Tsukaimon or Psychemon, as I recall.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like that's another one where if they announced Al Rauman showing up in the anime, I think people would get really excited, even though it's a really lame palette swap.
Yeah, yeah. See, you were saying Araumon, and I'm like, is she talking about that one owl that they didn't use in Cross Wars? Because my head's trying to like go with what is being said, and it's such a it's not a readable name.
Yeah.
I just keep in my head. It just keeps going Raumon, and I'm like, and I'm like, oh, it's that Digimon they didn't use instead of Sparrowmon, where it was like, I don't remember what but it was like
Oh yeah,
Araumon.
yeah.
So I'm like, is that what she's talking about? Does that have an article? I don't know. Oh,
I
and
snuck Elraumon into a chapter of Nexus World, and I did actually make it. They aren't actually related joke.
And there were half a dozen questions sent in, and I didn't put them in the list because I knew I was going to bring it up, and I nearly forgot. Dev,
Oh my god.
multiple people have complained since I posted it. Why does Wikimon not have an article about Terry Bradshaw?
Who the fuck is Terry Bradshaw?
How dare you, ma'am? Terry Bradshaw hosted the DigiBowl twice. Have you
Fuck
not?
is
missed the
Terry
Digibowl.
Bradshaw?
Wait, Dev, have you really not seen? Wait, are you fucking around, or actually have you not seen the DigiBowl?
I saw it so long ago that I
Okay.
don't actually care.
Oh, you need to.
Oh, you need to watch
It's worth a rewatch.
You
It's
need to
worth a
watch both of them.
rewatch.
It is literally, it's literally one of the biggest football players of all time who became an announcer.
Yeah, he
Sitting there,
is a 4-time Super Bowl
yes,
champion.
sitting there doing his best to talk about Digimon with new audio of Digimon characters, where they have
Mhm.
they have Kari,
Yeah,
they have Izzy,
Kari and Izzy
him
making
talking to them,
commentary.
doing commentary on episode clips.
And they make him pronounce Kabuterimon. It's amazing.
Yes, but like you could here's the thing. He can't possibly care, but he never looks like he's phoning it in. He's giving energy. And then
he's such a good sport about it. Yeah.
And then they made him do it again the next year. And they bring back Kari and they start referencing stuff from the prior year. And they have Henry there also. But they're referencing that they've done it before. And he's actually like it's acting, and he's not an actor, but he's actually acting like he's excited to be there and having fun. And it is so much fun to watch it because at no point
he's trying his best.
Yes, he's trying his best when he doesn't have to be. If he was there with no energy, people would be like, holy shit, Terry Bradshaw's doing Digimon promos. And instead, he's doing his best.
He is doing, he's such a good sport about it, and it's just fun to watch him attempt to stumble his way through this thing.
Yeah,
it's great.
all the random articles on Wikimon and the Digimon Wiki, there's nothing for Terry Bradshaw. The DigiBowls didn't have articles. I was going to make the joke, and I went and checked before because I figured, oh, there probably are ones. I got multiple emails going, I thought you were making a joke. And people went and checked and like, why aren't they on Wikimon or the Digimon Wiki? You need to watch the DigiBowl and you have to rectify this. It's wrong.
Terribly wrong.
See, we're gonna get more questions about it now. So we will catch you guys next time after Dev has fixed this horrible, horrible injustice and adds Terry Bradshaw to Wikimon.
He deserves it for being such a good sport.
You see, here's the thing. You're being facetious because you haven't seen it. He 100% does. We will catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.